Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. This is the third installment in this coronavirus thing because everything is moving so fast. And this is the third one in 3 days. Started out on Monday. Over the weekend, it went. The confirmed cases went from in the 40s to over 200. Yeah, 3 people were dead, and I started to pay attention. Then yesterday, Tuesday, there was 440 cases confirmed and 9 people dead. Today, there's 540 people confirmed and 17 people dead. Yeah. The city of Wuhan, a city of over 11 million people, has been quarantined. It's the biggest quarantine in the history of the world. 11 million people. Nobody in, nobody out. What do you think the Chinese government is thinking at this point? Do we have a problem? Yeah, we've got a problem, or else we wouldn't quarantine a city of 11 million people. Okay, and this is happening on the eve of the Lunar New Year, the year of the rat. I'm a rat, born in 1960, a metal rat, and this is the year of the metal rat. I don't know the significance of it, but whatever. You know what I mean? So, man, 11 million people. The subways are shut down. The ferries are shut down. The buses are shut down. The airports are shut down. The train stations are shut down. Everything's shut down. That whole city there's nothing going on there, nothing at all. And it's one of those things that it's scary living here in China, knowing that the virus is in Beijing, the virus is in Shanghai, in Shenzhen, in Guangzhou. Wei Feng was talking to a healthcare professional at the Guangxi University Hospital. We've got friends there. And sorry about the sunshine and everything, but I'm sort of doing this one on the fly just for the fact that everything's moving so quickly that what? You know what I mean? But anyway, Wei Feng was talking to a healthcare professional that we know over at the Guangxi University Hospital, and she said that they have 5 confirmed cases in Guangxi province that haven't been, I guess, counted in the count of the 540. There's a number of organizations out there that state that the numbers are way higher, and I can understand that, and I think that it's probably true that the numbers are higher than that. You've got to understand where the politicians in China are coming from. They're looking at the economic stability of their area of China. Look at Wuhan. Okay, let's use Wuhan because they're all over the frickin' news, and life is sucking for them right now. All of the travel agencies in Hong Kong, every major travel agency has suspended any tours that go through Wuhan. So that takes a bunch of tourist dollars away from Wuhan. Okay. Because people aren't allowed to go into Wuhan, and Wuhan is a major tourist attraction here in China, central China. All the hotels, all of the train stations, all of the airports, all of the air carriers, all of the ferry carriers, anything that's being pre-booked is giving 100% refund with no penalty. Why? Because the government says so. They don't want people to be out of pocket for a decision that's being made by the government to try to stop the spread of this ugly virus. Okay. You've got Taiwan has suspended all travel from Wuhan after the first confirmed case in Taiwan. The province of Taiwan, they stopped all air traffic from Wuhan to Taiwan. They've got cases. They've got a confirmed case in Washington, the state of Washington, not Washington, D.C. They've got a suspected case in Mexico. Get out of here, Mexico. Okay, last video I put out, I said that there was a confirmed case in Australia. No, it was a suspected case in Australia. They have confirmed cases in Thailand. They've got confirmed cases in South Korea. You know, they've got confirmed case in Japan. So it's sort of spreading around the world. You've got to understand, Wuhan is a travel hub of China. It has a major international airport. It has over 60 overseas destinations, direct overseas destinations, right from Wuhan. So you get on an airplane and you end up in San Francisco. You get on an airplane, you end up in Sydney, Australia. You get on an airplane, you end up in Paris, France. You get on an airplane, you're in Tokyo. You know what I mean? So this is a really scary scenario that's playing out here in China over the last 3 days. I'm telling you, it wasn't real news until Monday morning when, wow, actually Monday evening here, Monday morning for you guys back in the West, when Xi Jinping went actually public and said that we've got a problem, guys. We're going to try to nip this in the bud, and the Chinese government is actually being proactive about this, which is a good thing. They tried to hide it in the SARS thing, and I'll get to this in a minute. But the thing that there was, the WHO has commended China on their dealing, their quick dealing with this. Would any other country be able to quarantine a city of 11 million people? You're not getting on a bus, you're not getting on a train, you're not getting on an airplane, you're not driving out of the city on a highway or a side road. That place is locked down solid. Oh yes, it is, and it should be. Being like 2 days away from Lunar New Year, everybody wants to travel. Everybody has it in their mind to go back to the farm, meet family, friends, have the New Year's celebration that they're used to every year. People in Wuhan, that's not going to happen. Even people in other cities around China, a lot of them are staying home. They don't want to be packed onto the buses. They don't want to be packed onto the trains and the airplanes because you're in such close contact with so many different people. Yesterday I did a video of a wet market in Nanning here, and I was talking about nobody wearing masks. I was at the wet market this morning, and there was a number of people wearing masks. And we're going to be at the wet market tomorrow morning because I went there and it was just freaking nuts. There were so many people there, and I would imagine that the wet markets in Wuhan will be the same way. So tomorrow I'm going to give you a taste of what, oh, it's the fucking brandy. Tomorrow I'm going to give you a taste of exactly what happens here on New Year's Eve. And people are ramping up for the big feast. People are ramping up for family members coming over, buying everything under the sun to eat, from fish. We got 3 chickens, we got a fish. Well, no, we don't have a fish yet. That's why we're going to the wet market tomorrow to pick up a fish. We've got pork belly, ko-ro, we've got vegetables and rice, and we've got, Wei Feng has been just out shopping her little heart out for food, and you know what? For New Year's dinner, because it's just Wei Feng, myself, and her dad. And he can eat he can eat. He may be old, but he knows what his stomach and mouth are for. But you get these larger families and they go crazy, and like today was nuts. So I said, well, I should have went and brought my camera. She says, no, tomorrow will be crazier. And you know that in Wuhan, even though they've got a virus there, the wet markets will be exactly the same. Prime breeding ground for viruses to transmit, because this virus has been designated as a respiratory tract coronavirus, where that means that it's spread by breathing, coughing, sneezing, whatever, through the air, which is probably the scariest way to transmit it, just for the fact that it's so easily transmitted between person to person. Yes. And as I say, people are traveling all over China. People are traveling all over the world. People were moving out of Wuhan days ago, like 3, 4, 5 days easily before this quarantine came into effect. What does that mean for the rest of the world? Well, you've already seen it. You've seen cases in different countries and different cities around the world and around China. Okay. Is it going to stop? No, it's going to grow. It's going to grow exponentially over the next week or so, while the Lunar New Year travel is on, because it's the biggest mass movement of people in the world at Lunar New Year here in China. People, as I say, want to go visit family and friends, but they get like a week to 10 days off work. So a lot of the people want to travel to different countries. Tourism, you know what I mean? They want to go to the States or Canada or Thailand or the Philippines or Australia, Japan, you name it. They're all over the world. And they got the bucks to do it because the Chinese have more expendable cash than they ever have in the past. So all of these people are traveling around the world. All of these people are traveling around to China, and they could be, and they are, spreading this coronavirus, and it's a very scary thing to think about. Because of the way this played out, starting in a wet market, yes, again, I think this could be the end of the wet markets in China. I think that they're going to bring in legislation and say, oh, you can't do that no more. Damn, because you know what? We buy our chickens alive, and we get the old man to slaughter them in the bathroom. Yes, we do. I come from a rural area of Canada where having critters live and then slaughtering them and eating them is a normal thing for me. City slickers would say, oh, that's gross. Well, where do you think the stuff in the store comes from? You know what I mean? One of the good things about this virus, if you can consider it good, because it's better than the worst, I guess, is the mortality rate they've determined is 2.25%. So 2.25 people die out of every 100 people that contract the disease. Way better than SARS at 10%. But they've also said that it usually takes out the people that are older, that have pre-existing medical problems. So it's not taking out your healthy people. The healthy people, yeah, okay, they get sick, but then they get better again. It's not like SARS where you got a 1 in 10 chance of kicking the bucket. No. This one is a little bit tamer, although it is the closest coronavirus to the SARS virus ever detected in the world today. You know, there was only 7 of these viruses ever detected in the world, and this one is number 7, so there were 6 before this. Yeah, so anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit your bell, and don't forget to hit your subscribe button again, because I just keep losing subscribers. I don't know what it is. Maybe people don't like me anymore. I have that abrasive kind of personality. Oh, and don't forget to put a couple bucks on the Patreon account for the children. It's a charity for poor rural Chinese children that just need a little bit of a helping hand. Dig down deep, put a couple bucks on the Patreon account. You'll see the little cards coming up every once in a while during my videos. Those are direct links to the Patreon account. Just click on one of those puppies and you'll be there. Thanks for watching. Bye now. I won't have to worry about this except for tomorrow morning when we go to the wet market, because in your normal area of China, there's a whack of people. But because it's so close to Lunar New Year, there's nobody around. Look around me. This is China. I see one, two, person in a car, three, person driving a truck, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, maybe 8 people in this car. In my sight, usually there's 100, 150 people, and so the chance of catching it in Nanning City from another person at this time of year is very minimal. So I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to wear a mask. I figure I'm healthy enough that even if I did get it, I'd be the 97.75% that would be able to fend it off. Yeah, I'm confident. I'm strong. I'm not going to worry about it. But tomorrow morning at the wet market, when there's a freaking million people in the wet market, I might wear a mask. I haven't decided yet whether I will or not, but I might wear a mask. I guess you'll find out probably tomorrow or the next day if I do or not, just for the fact that it's still a scary situation, and the people on the ground here in China have a fear in them about this, and you got to understand, they've been through the bird flu, they've been through SARS, you know, they understand the complications and the threats to their life, to their families and their children and their friends and all of that. So you know, you've got to, it's not like in Canada where I got a cold, you know what I mean? It's not like that. So there you go. That's my opinion.